Hello, everybody. How's your weekend going? Happy Labor Day. I'm filming this before Labor Day, but it's being posted on Labor Day. So happy Labor Day. I hope your Labor Day weekend has been lovely and restful. I got my September premium box Sketchbox. This is not sponsored. I pay for the box myself. I just like trying new art supplies, and it kind of helps me practice being an artist. Messing with things that I don't normally mess with. It expands my skill set, all that. Um, I apologize if I'm sniffly and wheezy. My allergies have been out of control, and even with allergy medication, I'm super wheezy and sniffling. So I apologize if that bothers you. I will do my best to edit out the wheezing. So let's just go through this box. As always, they have a little pamphlet that shows you, how to use the products, what they are. A little Sketchbox sticker, which is super cute. It has an owl. This is the Tri-Wedge brush. Never had a brush like this. It's very cool. It's literally like a triangle shape. These are the liquid charcoal sets. They're earth toned. It's kind of like a black or a dark gray, cherry charcoal, and chalk. I've never used these before. I know they've gotten them in past boxes, and maybe I've like dabbled with them, but I've never really spent a lot of time using them. These are the woodless pastel pencils. I have used woodless pastel pencils. These are super cute. And we got a watercolor pad in beige. Nice paper. Thick, smooth. I'm just testing out the colors here. So weird thing with the liquid charcoal set is that it's kind of gummy. I had to like add more water to it just to mess with it a little bit. I tried to put some of the chalk color on the paper, and it was a very weird kind of gummy oily texture. Once I added water to it, it was very like watercolor. The woodless pastel pencils are really nice. I actually had a lot of fun messing with them. I think that I have like a couple of brushes and smudging tools that I would use to mess with those in the future, but they're really nice. They feel really nice. I'm painting a mermaid as like my actual piece of artwork. I'm very into mermaids right now. I'm very into mermaids most of the time, especially right now. And I went in starting with the liquid charcoal set, which was really lovely. Once I added water to it, I'm not gonna lie, I almost had a point before I even touched the soft pastels where I was like, this is great. I really love how this is looking. Very earth tone, very natural, but it works very much like watercolor or gouache. So I'm familiar with using both of those, and I was having a lot of fun. The tri-wedge brush. There was a bit of a learning curve for me. It comes to a nice point and it's really thick at the base, but it kind of splits a little bit depending on how you use it. So I had to kind of adjust the pressure and the way I was using it a little bit. It's a very cool brush. I'd like to use it, I think, a little bit more to get the hang of it. But it did have a little bit of a learning curve right at the beginning, just to make sure I wasn't pressing too hard, because then it split the brush and created, a little bit less detail, a little bit bigger, strokier strokes, if that makes any sense. Um, I'm painting a little shell with a pearl in it. And she has a little knife. That's how she opened the shell. So I'm going in with the soft pastels. I'm creating kind of like a seaweed topper. This is social media. Obviously, I'm not making her topless. But I came in with the dark green one and, what is the other color? Umber, kale, terracotta, mustard, platinum, and olive. So I was going back and forth with the kale and the olive, I believe, on that. And then I came in with the umber and just kind of outlined parts of it. They don't fall apart. They're not like super crumbly, so it's really nice. They're firm, so you're able to get like some actually really fine lines, which is really lovely because I just hate it. I hate it when I go on with a soft pastel and it just crumbles immediately. That makes it really hard to use them. I know that there are situations when you can use a really soft pastel. This would have been annoying in the shape of a pencil trying to get a fine line if it just fell apart. So these are nice. My favorite one was probably like the umber and the platinum. I went in and I used the platinum one for her eyes. I also went in a little bit later and I started highlighting like bits of the seaweed and parts of like her tail and her hair. Um, but the platinum was a really nice highlight. Also, that little palette off to the right there, I got in a different Sketchbox. It was when it came with the Sketchbox that had their like black ink in it, the matte black ink, I believe. But I pulled it out to use with the liquid charcoal set. I normally use pretty vivid colors. So this was a little bit of a challenge for me to keep it limited to just the super neutral tones of the set, which is good for me. It's good for anybody. You should always challenge yourself. So that's part of the appeal for me of having the Sketchbox is it forces me to challenge myself, especially if I try and keep it mostly within the bounds of what's in the box. Now, I have absolutely in past boxes added whites or highlights or pens, but I try to keep it within the same realm of the tools sent in the box. With this box, I only used what was sent to me, except the palette, obviously, but it's not really, I'd have to use a palette regardless, and they didn't send a palette. So, yeah, I kept everything within the bounds of the box. And oh, I used the platinum to kind of make her stand out from the back because it's like a beige paper. So I used the platinum as kind of, to make her pop out and have a little bit more detail. And here are the highlights I'm going in with the platinum and using. I really loved that it was kind of a bluey gray. It allowed the highlights to really stand out and pop from all of like the earth tones and brown, like neutral colors. So the platinum was a really good choice for this set. It was my favorite one. But yeah, I know that they drew like an owl, and I probably could have done some sort of animal. I'm just feeling mermaids, guys. I don't know. I've said this in previous videos, but like my go-to test shape has always been mermaids. It's something that I can draw without thinking too much about it. It's something that I enjoy, something that allows me to just really test the medium. So yeah, overall, I really love this box. It kind of inspired me to maybe work on some more earth-toned sketches and drawings, maybe even paintings. I don't use them enough, just basic earth tones, and I think this box inspired me to kind of try and lean a little bit more into working with some earth tones because I really liked how this turned out. But yeah, if you're interested in trying new supplies, I would definitely give Sketchbox a try. They have different levels, so you don't necessarily have to get the premium box. I really love it, and if that's something you're interested in, go check them out. Anyways, as always, I hope you guys have a good week. I hope to see you here again. Please like if you like the video, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope to see you around. Bye, everyone.